Its matter cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes forms. I can respect
Back with another one. It's your boy El Casino. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. We finna dive right into it. So Drake is an Uncle Tom, man. I'm just be 100 with y'all. I mean, at least that's my opinion. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the same tactic has been used over and over again to sway the culture of hip hop from a conscious culture to a gangster, victimized, sexual, hypersexualized, hyper-criminalized culture. All right, so let's dive into it and let's see what Professor Griff got to say.
So in my further research, I discovered the first millennium edition of the American Directory of Certified Uncle Toms on page 236. It talks about how young whites and entrepreneurs would come in and they would install new leadership over the hip-hop movement and begin to promote the nefarious niggerization of rap music. And they did so, using NWA. It says here that the biohistory of hip-hop is very explicit about the root of this obvious new trend, warning that acting like a nigger was about to become more lucrative than ever, and they pulled it off with NWA. It says here that they point out that rappers like KRS-One and Public Enemy became strong positive forces for black youth. A group called NWA, Neutral Attitude, emerged with an explicitly opposite point of view. NWA neutralized Public Enemy. So listen, so by the time this album here, The Chronic, came out, it had already neutralized conscious hip hop. It was a rap. That's it. NWA, while they were being hunted down by the FBI, they were used to put out gangster rap and neutralize Public Enemy in the conscious movement. Are you following me? So then it went from...
So right there, Professor Griff explaining the Uncle Tom in the hip-hop community, in the hip-hop culture. We talking about somebody that helped build hip-hop culture, that helped build hip-hop to what it is today, especially in the conscious community. So when we talking about Uncle Toms are plants, right, that get put in hip-hop culture, put in our culture to what? Distract us or to push a certain agenda. Right, we seen the photo in the last video where he was explaining the whole photo. Y'all can't tell me that ain't what it is right now. Right, we becoming better. Don't get me wrong. Thank God for TikTok, and thank y'all for TikTok and a couple of these other places and other social media, and just the energy, the Aquarius age, the era. I mean, it's just a matter of time, but we see it coming into fruition. We're living in those times. All right, I got it paused right now. It says in the last days, in the weeks of their lives, it has been reported that both Tupac and Biggie were under government surveillance by the federal agency. If you don't know, Tupac Shakur's mother was part of Black Panther. And I believe so was Biggie's in New York, or was an activist in some type of way. So you talking about bloodlines of revolutionaries that these agencies, not governmental bodies, right? It says under government surveillance and federal agencies, okay? So, because government is one thing, the federal agency is a whole nother thing, okay? And they're trying to keep an agenda. This is why Kendrick is attacking the industry. This is why Kendrick is attacking Drake. This is why Kendrick is moving the way that he's moving. This is why the West Coast is moving the way that they're moving. TDE, they whole core group, right? That's why they moving the way they moving. Because we are literally in the middle as the culture of people of an energy war. And you gotta pick a side. You can't say I'm playing defense or playing both sides. J. Cole picked this side in the apology. We'll get that. I might get into that and break the esoteric meaning, but again, people, this is just my opinion. Okay? This is just my opinion. So with Drake being almost like a plant in a sense, right? Because you got to understand his trajectory to where he got now. You go from a Canadian boy getting teamed up with the best rapper alive at the time. That's not a coincidence. They can say, oh, da 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 da, or like, you know, he met him at a studio session. He did this and he performed this, that, and the third, but it was by design. because they knew the agenda. Okay? He just had to play his part. He had to sell tickets. He had to perform, if we put you on the spotlight. All right? And we see this year in and year out. People being implanted in our culture in order to manipulate our culture, sway our opinion, keep our mindsets from relating to each other in order to really attack the agenda as we see fit, not as the Democrats say, the Republicans say, whoever in office say, or just even somebody that look like us, another agency, NAACP. Because my thing, right, when I sit back and look at it, none of these agencies have really pushed the agenda forward. Our agenda, the culture agenda, what the revolutionaries stood for and stood behind. That's big. So what Kendrick is doing is kudos to him. It's hats off to him. Do it. Push it. Because at the end of the day, we have to get rid of all the Uncle Toms. We ain't gonna get rid of all of them. They still gonna play their music, this, that, and the third. But we have to make that division in order to unite. We have to make that division because we have to see, well, who is on our side, right? We cannot give up in thinking that it's always gonna be a mole. It's always gonna be a rap. It's always gonna be something. It's always gonna be something. At the end of the day, we gotta build it. We gotta execute how we gonna execute, and that go both ways. Because justice is in the hands of what? The ones that were victimized, criminalized. But now we put it in the hands of the government in order to make things rational. So we ain't going too crazy and moral. But anyways, I ain't gonna go into it much of a rant because you know me, I get in the rant. But yeah, man, my opinion, Drake was almost like a plant. I ain't gonna lie, he Uncle Tom. He pushing the agenda. He did his part and they gave him that bread and Kendrick brought it to light and he been plotting it ever since. Him and TDE, his crew, his team, they've been plotting it ever since the beginning. It's a bloodline. It's just getting started with Kendrick and it's gonna be a lot more popping up. Believe me, believe me, believe me. So peace, love, and light. I'll see y'all in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think. Like, let me know if y'all getting these esoteric meanings in the sense of y'all been having the same feel, but you know, just haven't been able to really share and talk about it. So peace, love, and life. I'll see y'all in the next one.